but we have to start with news of an extraordinary auction set to take place in New York tomorrow. What's going under the hammer, you ask? Well, a toilet bowl, but not just any toilet bowl. This is a fully functional throne sculpted from solid gold by Italian artist Maurizio Cattelan. It's the kind of loo that doesn't just flush, it flaunts. Weighing in at 101 kilograms of 18-carat bling, it's valued at $10 million US, and Sotheby's reckon it might fetch even more than that. Proof that some people really do piss their money away. But who's going to buy a solid gold toilet? I don't want to be a party pooper here, Caleb and Danica, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's passed in.
It started.
I wonder if when you lift up the lid, do you find a golden nugget inside? Good evening,
gosh.
who is joining us from their bathrooms and other places this evening. I love this. As a piece of art, I love it. Because Maurizio Cattelan's point in doing this, and he was the same bloke who did that banana that was taped to the wall last year that sold for an obscene amount of money, then the bloke who bought it ate it soon after he'd bought it. But the whole point of this piece is to demonstrate how absurd a lot of the art world is and how absurd our bounds of what we call art actually is. He has said at one point, whatever you eat, a $200 lunch or a $2 hot dog, the results are the same toilet-wise. And I think the point is great. He's also called it 1% art for the 99%. It is obscene, but it is obviously obscene and deliberately obscene to make a point about just how ridiculous a lot of art is these days. I mean, if you can make a crapper out of solid gold and sell it for $10 million and people think it's a lovely art piece, he makes money out of doing it, but he's making a social point about how crazy all of this stuff is. And for that, I love it.
Well, this guy is a comedian after all. I mean, we're not talking about a genuine artist by no means. But look, I do agree with your point there. One of the funniest things I found about this was Sotheby's says that it believes it may be the only surviving edition of the work. One was stolen and never recovered. Who's going around stealing these things, and how do you actually steal them?
Solid gold.
Yeah, but how do you steal that though? Because correct me if I'm no expert in the weight of gold, but I would expect that it would be quite heavy. So how does one do that? I don't know.
Couple of guys. This particular toilet was on display at a gallery in New York, and it was fully plumbed in, installed, and 100,000 people lined up for a chance to sit on it and use it as a functioning toilet.
Well,
so there you go.
It was touted as a possible loan to the Trump White House as well.
Nicely.
I mean, now the millionaires finally have a place to dump their assets.
Did you see members of ABBA? Members of ABBA went and saw it and they said, wow, what a loo.
Well, actually,
that's terrible.
This is not my joke. It did come from one of our bosses, but it's so good that I have to retell it. The rumour is that the Pope is going to buy it so he can put it in the Cistern Chapel. But it's a bit like, have you been to Mona in Hobart?
No.
I really enjoyed Mona because there's some weird and wacky stuff in Mona, but there's also some magnificent artworks, Olsons and Streetons and whatever in Mona. There's these Egyptian artefacts, all sorts of stuff. And the bloke who started it, David Walsh, who I'm sure many of you are aware of, he made his money and still makes his money out of gambling because he worked out how to beat the house, and that's how he's made his fortunes and spent it all building Mona. Unashamedly says, I know nothing about art, and that's why I thought I was the best person to start an art gallery, because all these other wanky people think they know absolutely everything. So why can't I, as someone who knows nothing, give it a go? And I think that's what I like about this piece, is it's someone giving the middle finger to art and saying, actually, a lot of it is just garbage and it's only got any value because someone out there decides it has value.
Well, the other thing is, if you want to know about the society in which we live, don't listen to politicians, listen to artists.
No.
Because artists are supposed to say something about the culture. And I kind of like it, a solid gold toilet, which is really just a very expensive container for crap, is pretty symptomatic of the society in which we live, right? I mean, you can
go rogue tonight. We're already starting rogue. No, it's going rogue.
Wait for my point. You can have gold-plated everything, and isn't that materialism, right? You can have opulence everywhere, but if it's empty, if there's nothing of value in it, then what's it for? And I think he makes a great point about the Western culture that we're living in at the moment, where we've got the best of everything but lacking meaning and purpose.
It's quite sentimental of you, James McPherson, tonight. But no, look, I do agree. I think this was done, obviously, as a tongue-in-cheek. This is not meant to be a serious piece of art. But, hey, $10 million is done quite well.
Look, I may well be sitting on it tomorrow night. We shall see if I can rummage up the funds this evening when I go home and have a look at my bank account.